Good evening and welcome to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Tree Lee. Today's date is May the 2nd, 2022. It's a Monday and a beautiful day it has been. And first of all, I want to thank uh, Nathan Braystead and Dustin Gilley here at Troy Cable for being in the studio and helping us with all the production activities. And a couple of weeks ago, Ava Jackson assisted me and filmed some stuff with the Sipper brothers from Rutledge, Alabama. And in just a few minutes, we're going to show some highlights of that show for tonight's show. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, Gene Allen, the head golf coach at Pike Liberal Arts School, and his golf team will be on the show next Monday night. They won the state Alabama Independent School Association state championship in golf. The tournament was held in Auburn, Alabama, and Pike Liberal Arts finished second last year. This year, they won the state championship. And on that team, I do want to mention that Addie Meadows of Pike Liberal Arts was the female medalist with the lowest score. Jackson Cleveland and Jace Calhoun were named to the all-tournament team, so congratulations to those golfers, and we're going to have all the golfers on next week and mention them and talk with them in depth on next week's show. But a little bit about the history of Crenshaw County as it relates to me. I grew up between Goshen and Vidad on a dirt road just inside of Crenshaw County. My father, Joe Lee, was from Luverne, and mother was from Goshen, Bonnie, and they met while they were students at Luverne High School. So Crenshaw County holds a special place in my heart. And you see my name on the screen. My number is 334-268-0738, and there's my email address. If you know of anyone who would be interested in coming on the show as a guest, you can contact me that way, or you can send me a letter if you'd like to. But there's my number on the screen, and you see the flags of the United States and the state of Alabama. They hold true to me because my daddy and all his brothers and my brother and myself, we served the military of all the branches, all four major branches. And so I salute all the veterans, past and present, and their families. We're going to mention some of our sponsors before we show the segment on the Sipper brothers. Our sponsors are the Brundage Country Club. It's located in Brundage, Alabama. It's right across from the Walmart Distribution Center. They're open every day except Monday. And I want to thank the Brundage Country Club and Donnie Mobley and all the people at Brundage who are members of the golf club there, Country Club. Our next sponsor is Douglas Brothers, Mr. Shear Qualls. His family's been in business for 150 years. Go visit Douglas Brothers for all your jewelry needs. If you've got a wedding coming up, they've got a lot of wedding gifts that you can get. Mother's Day is coming up. Don't forget that. Great place to shop. Douglas Brothers on the square. Lenny Trawick, he and I go way back with the National Guard. He gives guitar lessons. You can contact him Facebook at Trawick Designs. Kat Deal, she gives lessons as well on the square at Flat Tops and Fiddles. But I want to thank Lenny Trawick. Of course, Mr. Raymond, he is one of my many barbers that I have. I don't like getting appointments. I just rather walk in and get a haircut. But you can contact him at 566-2604. He's located on South Brundage Street. Mr. Raymond Ledford. Sticky Frogs. They're located in Southland Village area. Miss Jennifer, for all your sign needs, any kind of sticker that you need. I think she makes t-shirts. Go see Jennifer at Sticky Frogs. Great place. If you see my truck, it's loaded with sponsorships, and I want to thank her for doing that. We have the Home Gallery located on Love Street. Sherry and David Helms, wonderful people. They have a great selection of furniture, lamps, paintings, and things of that nature. Anything that you need for your home decor, they have it at the Home Gallery located on Love Street. And David's a super fella and grew up in Louisville, Alabama. Our next sponsor is State Farm Insurance. They're located on South Brundage Street, Bryant Smith. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Thank you, Bryant. We have Piggly Wiggly, Miss Jennifer and Steve Garrett. They have a location on North Three Notch and one on the bypass. For all your shopping needs, grocery needs, go see the Piggly Wiggly. Next, we have Golden Boy. They're located on the Henderson Highway. They manufacture peanut butter for a lot of major companies. Golden Boy, I want to thank you for being a sponsor, and it's naturally better for your business if you go with Golden Boy. The Old Barn Restaurant, located in Goshen, Alabama. Their number is 484-3200. They're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and Sunday for Sunday dinner. The Old Barn Restaurant in Goshen, Alabama. I want to thank Russell, Melanie, and Gibson Baker for being a sponsor. Of course, Russell, he works for Wallace Pump and Supply, and they are also a sponsor, and his wife, Melanie, is a school teacher, and I believe Gibson has moved to the middle school, maybe getting ready to go to the high school pretty quick. But thank y'all for being a sponsor. Our next sponsor is Pond Stalker 2, LLC, Jim Mullis and Jet Trotter, for all your pond stocking needs, fertilizers for your pond. They have fishing lures, rod and reels, all kind of stuff. Go to pondstalker2.com for all your needs as it relates to pond stocking and fertilizing your pond. We have Premier Dodge, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Troy, Mr. Jason Gregory. They're located on US 231 North. I want to thank them for their sponsorship for any of your car needs or vehicle needs, truck, car, whatever. Go see Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Troy, Alabama. The Chicken Shack of Luverne, it was established in 1968. I want to thank the Money Brothers for being a sponsor. I was talking about the Chicken Shack today. We need one in Troy. Thank you, Chicken Shack. Flowers Real Estate Team, Miss Billy Ann and Kevin Flowers. They'll put flowers in your yard. See them for all your real estate needs. Our next sponsor is Flat Tops and Fiddles, Mr. Don and Jan Brown. They're on the square, a couple stores down from Bird's Drugs. They are the authorized dealer for Alvarez, Morgan Monroe. They're the owners. They're located there at North Court Street. Their number is 566-8714. You can get in contact with them at flattops@troycable.net. Flattops@troycable.net. Abby Lee Photography, go to www.abbyleephotography.com. She did a wedding in Tuscaloosa this weekend, but if you need to get in touch with her, that's the way to do it. Wonderful photographer and a very good old little girl. Jody and I are very proud of her. And one thing about Abby, I want to add to this. In the 60s and 70s, my mother worked for the Troy Messenger. Her and Elaine Carmichael, they were photographers and writers and editors. They wrote stuff for the Messenger. So I guess photography's in Abby's blood, and I loved it, still love it. But Abby Lee Photography, thank you, Abby. Next sponsor is Troy Bank and Trust, the only bank you'll ever need. I've had them as a bank since I was 18 years old, and they have several locations here in the Southeast, and I want to thank Troy Bank and Trust for being a sponsor. Pike County Co-op, 2 locations, one in Goshen, Alabama, my hometown, and Troy, for all your needs as it relates to feed, seed, fertilizer, anything you need on the farm. Go see the Pike County Co-op in Goshen or in Troy. It was established in 1936. The Alabama Farmers Cooperative was. Thank you, Co-op, for being a sponsor. Also, we have Chimney Sauces. You can get in touch with them at www.chimneysauce.com. Take the leap and try some chimney hot sauce. Also, we have Whaley Pecan Company. Last week, I got the cooking fever, and I made 4 8-inch skillet pecan pies. Actually, I made 8 and gave all them away. And but when I use the very best pecans, the very best is Whaley Pecan Company. here on Pecan Street. Their number is 566-3504. They've been in business since 1937, Whaley Pecan. They've got all kind of things in there too that you can get. Bird Drug Company, located on the square. I want to thank Mr. Joe Watson and the Deli Girls. Great food, great place to go for lunch and breakfast, and all your prescription needs go to Bird Drug Company, located on the square in downtown Troy. Troy Paint and Body, they're located on South Brundage Street. You meet them by accident, the Broadaways. I want to thank Dawn and Derek for being a sponsor. Troy Paint and Body. Next sponsor is Jackson Hardware. Brother Brian L. McDaniels, located on 111 South Main Street in Brundage, Alabama, for all your hardware needs. They specialize in painting down there as well. The Jackson Hardware was established in 1900, so it's been going on for about 122 years in Brundage, Alabama. We have Kelly Tire. Rex and Miss Nell, they did some work on my truck not long ago, put some shocks and struts on my 2008 Ford F-150, and it rides so much better. They can do mufflers, brakes, alignments, balancing shocks, and front end repairs. Kelly's Tire on Love Street. Next sponsor is Signature Hair Designs, Miss Shirley and the girls at 566-7311. They're located on South Brundage Street as well. They can design your hair. And I want to thank them for being a sponsor. The Kennedy Lodging and Events is located in Brundage, Alabama. Go to the Kennedy, look it up on Facebook or on Google, and it tells you how you can reserve rooms. That's a great place for a wedding venue, for your brides, and there, you know, as a gathering place for the bride family or any kind of reunion you have coming up. Great place to put your folks up there at the Kennedy. Or if you're coming if you're coming to a Troy University game, I think it'll hold between 14 and 20 people in that location, and you know, just pull your money together. You got a great place to visit and sleep. Brand new facilities. We also have Meeks Termite and Pest Control. We'll thank Greg Meeks. His number is 566-1222. Meeks Termite. Common Ground of Troy. They're not a sponsor, but they're located here in Troy through First Baptist Church. Clint Frey, great organization. Common Ground of Troy. They're reaching young men, the youth. It's designed right now for boys only. But if you want more information, go to Google Common Ground of Troy, and they can answer all your questions there. Southern Grill and Patio, I think they're moving to the old Messenger building. I don't know when that will be complete, but their number is 770-0575. I got my charcoal grill from them for a birthday present. Jody and Abby got me one, and they sell these natural steak sauces made by Bordeaux, located north of Montgomery. They've got all kind of seasoning and spices. They have, of course, the big green egg, and I've got a big head, and I've got my big green egg cap on my big head. And go see all them for all your gas grill, charcoal grill needs. They're located in the same place as Town and Country Flooring. Our next sponsor is Kat Deal. I want to thank Kat for being on the show. She's been on the show a couple of times. That's how you can get in touch with her. She's a professional entertainer. 672-2265. She also gives guitar lessons on the square there at Flat Tops and Fiddles. Kat Deal. We also have the Pizza Palace, 735-9555, located on Main Street in Brundage, Alabama. See Miss Pretty Patel. They have Stromboli, pizza, salad, all kind of good pizza and pasta there in downtown Brundage. Next sponsor is Fraley's Frames and Things, located in two locations, one in Troy, one in Enterprise. We'll thank Dan Fraley for his sponsorship, and he's framed many things for me, and I believe that's our last sponsor that we were going to mention. And again, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed tonight's show. It's a recap of the Sipper Brothers that we filmed in Rutledge, Alabama, in Crenshaw County. And ladies and gentlemen, next week we're going to have Gene Allen and the Pike LeBroy State Championship golf team on the show. Enjoy tonight's show, and it'll be replayed Wednesday at 9:00 p.m. Thank you. Welcome to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in Rutledge, Alabama on Sipper Hill. We're with Tommy Sipper, and he makes homemade guitars. And it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having us.
Yes, sir.
In your old home place.
Right.
And if you will, just kind of go through the process of making a homemade guitar.
Well, the first thing, I buy, if I'm gonna make them out of red mahogany, I buy red mahogany in 2x12, 12 foot long.
Okay.
And you rip it up, you get an 8-inch piece out of it and a 4-inch piece out of it. Well, you can make the sides out of the 4-inch. You put these two together. I get a fellow with a bandsaw to cut them open, make them that thin. I glue them together, and then K.O. runs them through his planer out there.
And K.O.'s your brother,
Yeah.
one of your brothers.
He runs them through his planer, and it'll end up thin like that. And that's bird's eye maple there. That's a rare wood.
Bird's eye maple?
Yeah, at least it's got a whole guitar built out of bird's eye maple.
Okay.
But this is the form I made to put them in, and this block here. I noticed that the guitars to start with, the first one or two I made, it had a tendency to go down right there. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So I started putting a block in there, and the fellow. Nonny Magoo showed me his guitar that a fellow in North Alabama built. That's the reason I started building. He come down music making one night, and he described how a fellow in North Alabama built his. That's all the information I had about building the guitar.
What year was this, Mr.?
That was in 2005 when he come that night. And I've always hated carpenter work. I don't know why I started doing this, but I was a painter. Okay. I painted 57 years. Had to quit because I have macular degeneration so bad. But he described how you build it, and that's all the information I had about building one. I got Lisa's son, my grandson, DB, to get online, and he ordered me a damaged dobro out of California to see how it was made. So I took it apart, seen how it was made, and these little strips right there, that's in here. Okay. Called perfin.
Perfin. Okay.
A 16-inch piece of that costs about $5. I take K.O. scraps over and rip them up, and I make them and put them over on the bandsaw and notch them. Don't cost nothing, you know what I mean?
Okay. So is this the beginnings of the outside of a guitar right here?
That's it.
That's the
outside. Well,
okay.
Two. Let me tell you this first. You got to bend the side pieces here.
Yes, sir.
They make a electric iron in the catalog. We looked up in the catalog a while ago. It's $207 for electric iron. But I made that for $11 out of pipe. I put a torch in the end of it there. You're supposed to soak your wood, and then you bend it over that
How long do you have to soak your wood? Overnight, or?
No, you don't. Just so it gets. You soak it a few hours, it'll be all right then. But I tell you what, you got to take your time. I was in too big a hurry. I broke several pieces before I learned how to do it. I was in too big a hurry. You got to take your time and bend it.
Yes, sir.
But then I put that in there, and that stopped all that from bending down, you know. Then you put your top on there first. You glue it on there, then router it off, and then you turn it over and put your backs on it. So.
Okay. Now, what are these little pieces here?
Well, you see.
We'll see some of that more.
Yeah, well, you see guitars up here, it's got these pieces in them.
Yes, sir.
In the backs of them. It all starts out with these strips.
Okay.
About 130 strips glued together.
Yes, sir.
On the board. And then you cut them on a 45, and then you cut them in strips. I do 45, you cut it in strips.
From here, it looks like it's 3D. It looks like it's
Yeah.
like this. but
Well, so
it's-
you turn one way and one the other. How do you glue them? You got to glue them back together again. There's a lot of gluing and re-gluing to it. Oh,
Yes, sir.
like Coach Davis says, it's a process.
Okay.
But it all starts out with these sticks here, you know.
Okay. The sticks on the outside and then these.
Well, now the sticks on the outside is a different story. So is that the one that's straight sticks?
Yes, sir.
Well, KO had a bunch of wood out here. They about 20 different kinds of wood there, repeating itself over and over.
Yes, sir.
And you glue them together. And the first one when I done, KO said I was defying physics. He said it wasn't gonna work. When I put it in that thing, it started popping and all, but it did work.
Well, Mr. Tommy, these here, these are called solid guitars. Were these like some of the first ones you started making?
No?
Or
Well, the first one I made was this solid wood like that, and at least the second one was, hers was bird's eye maple. The third one I made was solid. The fourth one I made was a cedar top, and I built them out of all kinds of wood. I built 33, and ain't none of them alike so far.
right. Now, do you have a favorite type of wood that you like working with?
Well, the easiest wood to work with, down on the other end down there is what is that wood, Kel? The boy up here, the tree, give you a tree and you cut it. No, anyway,
Poplar?
no, anyway, that's the easiest wood to work with. It's but that's the same thing on the side. I just stained the side with a cherry red. The back of that one's got pieces in it. Yeah, the same as this.
Yes, sir.
They about 2,000 pieces on the back of them. I got two of pairs, got 3,000 on the back.
So, Mr. Sipper, if somebody wanted to buy a homemade guitar that you make, how would they get in touch with you?
Well, my phone number is 334-335-6389, or you can call Lisa
Okay.
on her phone.
Okay.
334-300-7795.
All right. 334-300.
7795.
7795. Okay.
Now this guitar is all
And how many strings it has? 6?
6, yes.
Okay. All of them are 6-string guitars?
Yeah, they all, well, Dobro stands for Deferia Brothers.
Okay.
This is Sipper Brothers.
Cipro.
Kel helps me. He does all this. He does all the planing of the wood, sawing the wood, planing the wood. They does this out for me too. I mean, with a router for me to put the.
That's one of his brothers. We're going to talk to Mr. Cairo in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
But yet, so far you've made how many? 30?
33.
33. And this is just one of the styles of guitars that you make. And
Yeah, that's young's a dreadnought. It's different shape than these others are.
but I asked you a question earlier before we got on the show about how much time do you think one guitar? Do you have any idea how much time?
Well, I
one
work on
guitar
different ones. I don't just work straight on one. See, I got about 6 over there.
that you
I just work
started?
on different ones.
Okay.
I don't really want to know. I don't think.
Okay. And you've been doing this since what year?
Well, I built my first one in 2006. My daddy played a dobro. I never was interested in a dobro. Never got him to show me nothing. And what little bit I know about playing one, I learned on my own. So
Well, could you play one for us? You mind?
I can
Or
play
is there
one.
somebody in here that could?
I can play one a little bit and reckon. You get ready.
Wood.
This is mahogany on top of this one.
Okay.
You see how it streaks?
Now, if you will, hold that up and explain exactly what are these two things here. Is that where the music?
That's for sound and also, well, I'm gonna show you up there directly the sound well and all
Okay.
in here. But that's just for sound and for decoration too, you know.
Okay.
But
Well, we can play one here in a little bit, or we can keep going down the row and
when we get down there, we'll play it if you
Okay.
want to.
all right. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back in just a minute.
Hard work.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back on Sipper Hill. This is the home place of the Sipper family. And if you will, give us a little bit of history about your home here, your old home place, Mr. Sipper.
Kel can tell you more about that than I can. Really.
Okay. Well, let's finish on with the guitar segment. What do we have here?
Well, like I say, this is a Sipbro instead of a Dobro, but this gives you the sound right here. This is that's the string where the strings go over it.
Now, where do you make this, or do you
No,
order?
I buy when I started out buying damaged guitars to get the parts.
Okay.
I had to buy new ones now to tear them up.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's where that comes out of. Also, there was a sound well here. It had holes in it. I don't use the sound well. I put sound post like a fiddle has a sound post.
Yes, sir.
I put sound post in it. And but this is what they call a cone here. And this is the bridge here for the strings. And then you got what you call the cover plate, that goes on top of that.
Okay. Cover plate.
So I use all the parts, and I use the neck off of them because it take long enough to build that neck. It take long to build the neck as it would the rest of it. But I chisel all this out. Kel helped me chisel this out because I can't see how to do it no more. But anyway, I got this ready to fit and glue together. I glue this right here with a Gorilla Glue, the neck.
Okay.
The rest of it glued with outside exterior carpenter glue,
Now your little pieces again on each side.
Well,
that
when-
you see here.
When I see, you got to get it all lined up first before you can bolt them.
Okay. You
See-
line it up. Okay.
You got to what I do first. I put two strings. I put the bottom string and top string on here. You got to line it up this way and this way, So them two strings line it up both ways. You got a tail piece right there that you screw on there, and hook the strings to, and that way you can tell when you get it straight,
Yes, sir.
and you can tell when you get it level by looking at the strings.
Okay.
If I had all the tools that you need to build a guitar, it'd be thousands of dollars. All I got is a belt sander, a vibrator sander, a drill, a pair of tin snips, and I use Kel's hacksaw. I use his table saw. I use his joiner here, and his band saw. That's it, and this cutoff saw.
Yes, sir.
So that's all the tools I got. But you're supposed to have, I showed you that a while ago, that little bone nut right there. You're supposed to have 6 different saws to saw that with.
Really?
They got 6 different saws in that book catalog. I use one hacksaw. I just start it wide and get a little bit narrow all the way down, Everything I do is like that. I mean,
Now this piece of wood I'm gonna show right here, is that, excuse me, let's cut that off. We can edit that later. But this wood over here, is this, what,
that ain't nothing to do with what I'm doing now.
okay, nothing, okay, we'll get to that, that's probably one of them swing pieces of wood, okay. All right,
But
that is a,
and this here one too. Show you the back. This here's an Alabama guitar. Gonna be an Alabama guitar when I get on with it.
okay. All right, well, roll tide. That's good.
And, but this is ready to put together. All I got to do is put the tail piece on there and put 2 strings on there to line it all up with, and then I glue the neck on there, and then I can put all the rest of it.
Well, Mr. Sipper, what did you do for a living before you started? I mean, what did you do for a living?
I was a painter for 57 years.
57 years, you had mentioned that, and you painted houses and
Houses.
inside and outside?
I paint anything that'd be still long enough.
Okay.
But yeah, I still be painting if I could see. I had to quit 2 years ago.
Yes,
But I hated carpenter work, but I guess it wouldn't work, but I never did like wooden work.
Yes.
But when Lonnie Magoo mentioned it, I just thought I was gonna build one.
Yeah.
Kel was joking and said, I got some black walnut up in the barn out there. So
Yes.
he's gonna go to Florida. I said, I'm gonna get that black walnut. What you gonna do? I'm gonna build a guitar.
Well, Mr. Tommy, who's your bride and your children?
I married Lucille Duncan in 1962. I got a son, Ricky Sipper, was born in 63. Lisa was born in 66, Lisa Sipper, Roland, 66. I got a daughter, Leslie Helms, was born in 69.
Okay.
3 children,
How many grandchildren do you have?
5,
5. Any great-grandchildren?
2.
2. Okay, so the legacy lives. Now, where did y'all get your, now y'all are members of what church?
Rock Hill Church of
Rock
Christ
Hill.
I am.
Okay,
Kel preached at Sardis 30 years, and he goes to Salem now.
yes, sir.
He fills in over there preaching sometimes.
So was your family gifted in the singing and playing of musical instruments?
Yeah, my mother met my daddy at a guitar picking and all. And yeah, him and his sister and my granddaddy played the fiddle. One of his fingers big as his neck. I don't say how he played the fiddle, but he could play the fiddle.
Wow.
And they all were gifted singing and playing, yeah.
Now, y'all have an annual Sipper singing, is that?
No, we used to have about 3 or 4 music makings a year. We ain't had one in over a year now. It's been
We need
probably
to
2
have
years.
one. If you ever have one, call me and we'll see if Troy Cable and we come down here and video it.
But
If y'all let us, if there's, you know, that would be a.
when we was growing up, me and my brother slept in, we just had this, there was 2 rooms here and the kitchen and a little side room there. And me and my brother would be sleeping over here on the bed, and folks know Daddy would play with them if they come in. He'd come in way in and out. We'd be laying on the bed. And we'd wake up and be folks in here everywhere playing fiddle and guitar and all. We'd be ashamed to get up, ashamed to lay there, you know. But anyway, it wasn't nothing. They know he'd play with him if he come over here, you know. And Roscoe played with him a lot too.
We were talking about Roscoe Sexton. He's from the Hornoval area. And Roscoe Sexton and my daddy Joe Lee were second cousins. And I've been to Mr. Roscoe's and I've heard him play, is it the steel guitar?
Played the dobro.
The dobro.
Yeah.
But I can remember I was probably 6, 7, or 8 years old, and I was just amazed.
He can play that thing too.
Tell him why you're a painter, Tommy.
Huh?
Tell him why you chose painting.
Well, my daddy told me to learn, do something that everybody else hated, and I'd always have a job, and I always had one. And especially when I started painting for the Bridge Club ladies, they all advertised for me. And I worked for one contractor. I done all this sheetrock work and painting on new houses. He built about 65 new houses. I done all the sheetrock work and painting on all them. And all of my regular customers knew to wait for me, you know. I'd have a list. I can't stand for nobody to wait on me, but I'd have a list. When I got to their name, it was their time. I'd call them and they'd be ready.
Yes, sir.
So I was booked up all the whole time.
Okay.
And,
Well, it raised a.
I didn't realize how much I did like painting until I had to quit. So anyway, you need to like what you do, but I didn't realize I liked it that good.
Well, we're going to scan the room with a camera and let's make sure we get all these beautiful guitars here. And we'll let's kind of lift it up where you get a good view of each one. And,
That's the one I play most of the time.
okay.
And this one here has got 3,000 pieces on the back, about 14 on the side. The same thing here. This is a bird's eye maple,
Yes, sir.
and this is red mahogany. This has got 3,000 pieces on the back. The rest of them's got, most of them's 2,000.
Yes, sir.
This is one that's got the big pieces on the back.
Yes.
When we first started out, they started coming all the pieces. And so that's as small as I could make it start with. But anyway, I figured out a way that I could make them smaller.
Yes, sir.
And I tore my thing off. That's that there's diamonds on the back of that one, yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's different than the rest of them. Pieces on the side, sticks. And that's 2,000 on the back and sticks on the side.
Yes, sir. These are solid guitars here.
Yeah. All them just plain
And the
wood.
style of guitar, you call them
Cipro.
Cipro.
Yeah, the Fury Brothers was Dobro. That's where they got the Dobro. So this is Cipro Brothers.
Well, again, if you're interested in buying a homemade guitar from Mr. Sipper, you can call 334-300
$77.95.
$77.95.
334 335-6389.
There we go. And we're in Crenshaw County, just outside of Rutledge on Sipper Hill. It's a beautiful place, and we're in the old home place of the Sippers. And the Sipper brothers, they build swings and they build guitars, homemade swings and guitars.
I also want to tell you about my book.
Okay? Yeah, please do.
Is this thing still working? I got it in my hand.
We can take a quick break.
Hardware.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with Mr. Tommy Sipper, and he's going to talk to us about his book that he has written. It's called Chapters of My Life. Go ahead, Mr.
Yeah,
Sipper.
when crazy things was happening on the job or something, during the week, I would tell Bob, I said, I wrote another chapter today. So he named it Chapters, you know. That's where we got that from. This is humorous stories of real life situations. All the stories, all this stuff really happened. It's in 3 different sections. Then they got a section on my guitars. Then it's got a section recipes. And
Okay.
that different people that I worked for, they would give me recipes. And so, but it's just short stories, all the short stories. You know.
And they could get one. They
Well-
could get one from you, but this is called. Where can you buy one? Is it online?
You can get them at
Amazon.
Amazon.com. Yeah.
Okay.
Or we
So.
can get them from Dad.
Oh, okay. For Mr. Sipper, you can go to Amazon.com, look for Chapters of My Life. It's humorous stories of real life situations by Storyline Tommy Sipper. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. Just try to enjoy the trip. And there's the
Yep.
back of the book, Chapters of My Life, and these are these your hands or your
Yeah.
daddy's hands?
That's my hands.
Okay. Okay. He builds them, he plays them. And we're going to hear some live music in just a minute. Okay, well, good. Brother Bob with him.
Announce it again.
Okay. You don't need me for that. We can let you.
You need to say it again whenever you get ready, so Abel, whenever you're ready there, let him give him the cue.
Okay. When she gives you the cue, Daddy, say sailing along, so we know what it is. Okay, I'm ready.
Sailing along. Now I'm gonna play Wabash Cannonball, a little bit of it, and that's it. That's it.
Well, all right. I guess we'll. this pine?
Yeah, pine wood. Sawing on halves of the saw. I'll stack it out here. Got sawdust all over.
That's all
Hardware.
We're with Mr. K.O. Sipper, one of the other brothers here on Sipper Hill. And I don't have dandruff. We just ran a little bit of pine wood through his sawmill. But thank you for having us, and kind of explain to the crowd or to the audience what we have here, Mr. Sipper.
Well, this is a old-time circular saw. I bought it in '96 out of Kansas City, Missouri.
Yes, sir.
And when it came in, fellas brought it on a heavy-duty pickup truck, and in boxes, and I had to put it together.
Yes, sir.
And but I've had it since '96. That's 25 years ago. And but I've sawed a lot of lumber, and it has 30 teeth on the blade,
Okay.
and the teeth have to flare out like this because you don't want the lumber running on the blade. The teeth have to be wider than the blade.
Okay.
And then after they get worn down a little bit, you got a tool that you put on it and hit it with a hammer to swedge it to open it back up again,
Okay.
to make it wider.
And that's how many inches wide?
Well,
The
it's
blade-
about a 1/4 inch wide.
I mean, but the diameter or the width.
Oh, the blade 46 inches.
Okay. And how long does a blade typically last?
Well,
Depends on I know how much you use it.
I've had that one on there about a year, but
Okay.
other one I used 24 years, and it's
Yes, sir.
still good.
Yes, sir.
Just changed blades on it, and this one's running just fine. The other one running fine too, but I decided to change blades on it.
Right.
But I suppose if you keep it up and keep the teeth sharp, that it'll last forever.
So what is there a type of wood that's harder on the blade than other types of wood?
Well, oak wood is harder to saw, and hickory or sycamore and stuff like that. But pine is sort of soft, and it's still green, as you can see. And cedar is real soft, and cypress is really, really soft.
Mm-hmm.
It takes about 6 months for cypress to dry, and about 3 months for the pine to dry.
Okay.
But I stack it out here on the barn and stack it on sticks in
Okay.
order for it to dry.
Yes, sir.
And wind can blow in all directions on that shed there.
Okay.
And after I dry the lumber, I stack it over in that other shed over there, and
So if a
you can flat stack it.
yes, sir. So if a customer wants some wood cut up, they bring it to you.
And I use saw on halves. So
Okay. And how can they get in touch with you? The people that may not know of.
Well, you can call me at 334-335-6370.
Yes, sir.
That's my
Okay.
phone number, and the only number I have. So
Okay.
you can call that number. And usually what I do, I don't have access to lumber here, but I saw on halves with folks. What I do, I make 2 piles out there. And when the customer comes back to get it, he can get either pile he wants, and he can't complain.
Yes, sir.
That way, he chooses the pile he wants to take back,
Yes, sir.
and therefore he can't fuss about it.
Okay. Now, what did you do for a living before you? I mean, what did you do?
I was a carpenter for about over 50 years, and built houses and remodeled houses and built cabinets mostly.
Okay.
Built kitchen cabinets. But I'm mainly in the porch swing business now.
Yes, sir.
Build porch swings
Okay.
since I retired.
Yes, sir. And what about your family? Who did you marry, and who are your children?
Well, I met Olivia Carter in college at Alabama Christian College, and we married in '69. And I have 2 boys. Joshua lives in Wetumpka, has 2 boys, and Samuel lives in Hazel Green. That's right north of Huntsville.
Okay.
He has twin girls and a boy.
Okay.
So we got 5 grandchildren
Well,
altogether.
that's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. The anything else on this part of the spectrum of wood cutting that we can talk about before we go to the next stage?
Well, you notice a ramp out here. I load the logs on the ramp with that fork thing there,
Yes, sir.
and the Lord made them round so they'd roll up there, and
There
then
you
we
go.
square them up.
There you go.
You know,
Yeah.
we square them up and then start sawing, like you say. But when I pull that thing out, it saws it about 1.16"
Okay.
is what it does.
Yes, sir.
And up there I have a planer mill that I
Okay.
can run it through and smooth it down, you know.
Let me let you hold this for a minute. I see an instrument I want you to explain.
All right.
I've seen these around, and I about know what it's for. But Mr. Sipper, tell us what this is.
That's what they call a can hook that you turn the logs with,
Okay.
and it swings up like that, so you can cook it in the log and roll them up on the ramp, and also to turn them when you get it up here. You saw one side and turn it, and saw the other side and turn it, saw the third side and turn it, saw the fourth side and turn it. You square the log up,
Yes, sir.
and then you can start sawing the boards
Right.
after that. You know.
You didn't buy this last week. This is
Well, I made the handle on it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's old.
that's good.
Yeah, that's a can hook. Now that one over yonder, if you
This one.
no, the one way over yonder, I don't know if you can reach it or not, but it's called a peavy.
Okay.
A peavy has a point on it.
Okay. Let me get that one. So you
All right. If you can get over there and get it. Yeah, you made it.
This is what we call a peavy.
Yeah, the only difference between it is it's got a point on it.
All right, let me get both of them together.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that one doesn't have a point.
Yes, sir.
And with this one used on the other end of the log, because you have to push it up on the log and push it. And so that's what the point's for.
Yes, sir.
It's called a peavy.
Okay.
So that's the difference between the two, is one of them has a point, one of them doesn't have a point on it.
Well, let's take and you've got a little conveyor belt that takes the sawdust
Yeah,
to a pile that kind of keeps you from having to scoop it out right there under the blade.
yeah, yeah.
And,
And I got a roller here that rolls this out, see?
Yes, sir.
Rolls the lumber out.
Yes,
I usually have a four-wheel wagon sitting out here when I'm sawing for myself, and I load it on that four-wheel wagon. And I load all the lumber on it.
Yes.
I've got it loaded with lumber out in the barn now. I hadn't stacked it yet.
Well, we're going to take up a quick break, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime. PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the Sipper brothers here on Sipper Hill, just outside of Rutledge, Alabama, in Crenshaw County. I'm Forrest Lee, and I want to thank Ava Jackson for coming with me today to film this. And we have Mr. K.O. Sipper. He's the swing maker. We're swinging in one of his swings. What type of wood is this, Mr. Sipper?
It's poplar wood.
It's made out of poplar.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite type of wood that you use when you make swings?
Well, I'd rather use cypress, but I'm just about out of cypress now. That's my favorite wood to use is cypress wood.
Okay. Why is that? Is it easier to work with, or?
It's real soft, yeah, and it weathers real good. You know, if somebody wants to hang one outside.
Yes, sir.
And it weathers a whole lot better. And that one on my porch out there is 35 years old, so it's been around a long time.
It looks like it was built last week to me. Do you put something on them when you put them outside in the weather? What do you recommend putting on them as far as
it'd be better to spray them with water seal, like Thompson water seal.
To spray them?
Okay. Put it in your pump-up sprayer and spray it with water seal.
Okay.
Is the best thing to do, you know, to protect it. And then,
how often would you need to do that? The next time you do that, would you have to wash it first, make sure it's clean? And then,
well, if you get it outside, it's going to turn like the one on the porch. I mean, that one yonder turned anyway, and it's going to turn gray, you know. But
yes, sir.
You can spray water seal on it with gray, or if you want to bleach it back out, you can spray it with Clorox first, you know, and then bleach it back out, and then you can spray it with water seal.
About how often do you need to do that?
About every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
That, yeah.
Now, if someone wanted to buy a swing, I know we talked about your sawmill, if somebody needed some logs cut up, but as far as your swings, do you market these like at different fairs, events, or do you just by word of mouth?
It's usually by word of mouth. It travels around, you know, and I was on County Road 12 not long ago, and I got several orders after that.
Well, good. Well, I hope you get some in Troy, Alabama, and throughout. So we cover a lot of counties. And, but I mentioned to you before we got up here back in the house, the home place. This is probably at the top of my list of the shows that I've done over the past year. Has been here in Sipper Hill.
Well, thank you.
And visiting y'all. Now, when you build a swing, how much time does it take roughly to build one particular swing? And you make what kind of sizes of swings?
Well, I build 4 foot, 5 foot, and 6 foot. 4 foot is $80, 5 foot's $90, and a 6 foot's $100. But I don't really know how long it takes because I just do it a little at a time, you know, and,
yes, sir.
And it takes several days, you know, to build one. But I suppose I could build one in about 4 hours if I started and finished, you know. But I just do it a little at a time, and I furnish the chains with them too.
Yes, sir. And you help your brother. Do you help him cut the wood for his guitars and all? Or
well, he usually cuts the wood. I usually do the routing for him and for the band that goes around it, and help him chisel out for the neck and so forth. So I just help him a little bit on that.
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Sipper, I wanted to ask you some more personal questions about your family, specifically your mother and your dad and your siblings, if you will. Kind of give us the history of your home place here.
Well, my daddy was born here in this house, and all his siblings, there were 6 of them all together, and the oldest one died and the youngest one died, so they ended up 4.
Of his brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I had 3 boys and a girl.
Okay.
And he married my mother in 1939, and Olivia and I married in '69, and Josh and Rachel married in '99, so 30 years apart.
Okay.
So anyway, Daddy was a farmer. He farmed with my granddaddy, and finally he started carpenting in about 1958, and he carpentered for many years and truck farmed, and he was in the honeybee business. He had about 150 hives at one time.
Right.
And we took off about 400 gallons of honey every summer.
Yes, sir. Ava, you think this squeaks too much for the? Well, listen. It doesn't bother me if it don't bother y'all. But we can cut this part out later. But if it's squeaking too much.
It's really just picking up your mic. Like the sound.
Oh, so that's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's go back. Well, she'll edit all that. But your mother's, what was your mother's maiden name?
She was a Knighton from around Bradleyton, Alabama.
Bradleyton.
There were 14 in her family altogether.
Right. I know George and Vicky Browder. You know George Browder, Veneer.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, that's how I found this place, is through Tori, Browder, Peacock, and her husband was on the show, and is a fabulous singer. And they got little Mikey and they got Lucy. They call her Sugarfoot. What George calls her Sugarfoot. And I know them through Al and Joy Sanders from Goshen, and so it all connects together. And I wanted to mention this: Ava Jackson goes to Troy University. She's in the sorority of Phi Mu, which my daughter was a member of. And whose granddaughter? Tommy's granddaughter, and her name is?
Holland Helms.
Holland Helms, and she's engaged to a Lowry boy who grew up down there in Brantley, Alabama, Trey Lowry, who is a fraternity brother of mine.
Yeah.
So the swings, you can get a 6-footer for $80, a 5-footer for $90, and a 6-footer for $100 at KO's Cabinet Shop. And here's the sign here. We'll get a shot of it in a minute. But so your father farmed, and was he a carpenter as well, or he could do just about everything?
He started carpentering in about 58, something like that. He quit farming, but he kept on truck farming. He raised watermelons and peas and butter beans, and then he went in the sugar cane business. They sold 13,000 gallons in 7 years.
Yes, sir.
Of sugar cane juice. He sold juice. Folks told him it wouldn't work, but he showed them it would.
It would. If there's a will, there's a way. This is a beautiful home place.
Yeah.
And it'd be wonderful if everyone had a home place like this to go and visit. And
We got 70 acres here altogether.
yes, sir.
Got 40 acres of pine trees planted on it.
And before we started the show, this land became in the family in what year?
It was homesteaded, this 40 up here, in 1860. And the 40 down here was homesteaded in 1853. And the 40 down here was homesteaded in 1852.
Yes, sir.
So my great-great-granddaddy named Samuel homesteaded the land. So we, of course, this house here was built in 1915 when my grandparents married in
Yes, sir.
1915. So it's been here 107 years now.
Right. Well, let's pick up that piece of iron right there, and what is that right there for? Is that
This is
a fire sticker?
fireplace poker.
Okay, that's an
Yeah.
oldie but a goodie there. Let's show.
It's actually a wagon rod is what it's made.
Okay.
It went across in a wagon and had threads on it on the end, and you screw the thing up and tighten the bodies up on the wagon.
Okay.
And so that's what that is, a wagon rod right there. And I just bent it to,
Okay,
to
stir.
turn
Okay.
wood in the fireplace with, is what that is. I've got one in my house and got one in here in this house too.
Yes, sir.
There's my wife coming out here.
Oh, here comes the boss. Fix 2 more for supper. But anyway, well, Mr. Sippers, anything like you'd like to add? Again, I want to thank the Sippers for having me on the show or having us at your home place, and
Yeah.
we look forward to we're going to show this in our next show, which will be next Monday night. And for the audience out there, our show comes on Troy Cable Channel 2 from 7 to 8 o'clock on Monday nights. And also, the replay will be on Wednesday nights from 9 till 10 o'clock at night. And it's Channel 2 on Troy Cable. You also can follow us on Facebook or YouTube. Go to Troy Cable Productions and type in Good News and Interviews with Forrest Tree Lee, and you can find it there.
Okay.
And it may take a week for this show to be on that, but again, I want to thank y'all for having us, and
Yes,
we certainly have enjoyed our time here. And
We appreciate you coming.
can you play an instrument or sing?
I sing. I help them sing. I can't
Okay.
play a thing.
Okay.
I play the harmonica a little bit. That's all.
Yeah.
But I just help them sing.
Well, that's the one instrument my daddy could play. He could play the harmonica a little bit, but
Yeah.
I think I'm a singer, but anyway. But but I admire people who can work with their hands, especially woodworking, and be it swings, be it guitars, or whatever. And I certainly admire singers, and I like the a cappella part of it. And again, y'all, where do you attend church?
Well, Olivia and I go to Salem Church of Christ. I'm an elder in the church there.
Where is that located?
It's above Hornoval, about 6 miles above Hornoval,
Going toward Greenville or Montgomery?
going toward Montgomery from
Okay.
Hornoval.
Okay. Okay.
And our preacher is named Larry Brady.
Larry Brady.
Larry Brady is our
When,
preacher.
when's y'all's church service typically?
We meet at 10 and 11 on Sunday and 7 on Wednesday night. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't meet in the afternoon.
Now, what church did y'all grow up in?
We grew up in the Church of Christ. Rock Hill's actually my home congregation.
Yes, sir.
I said I was going to go back over there when I get 80 years old.
Well, what year did you graduate high school?
65.
65. Okay.
So I'm 74 years
Okay, I
old.
was going to do the reverse math. Yeah. You said 65, so you got me about 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, well, listen, thank you so much,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sipper, for having us. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Sipper family that we've been with. We're on Sipper Hill, just outside of Rutledge, Alabama. Is it County Road 35?
Yeah.
County Road 35 here in Crenshaw County, and it's a great place to live, to raise your youngins and grandyoungins, and we'll see you next week on Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee. Thank you.
Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.